general things that we learned from Colorado as a whole. That internet service is too expensive for many people. Websites are confusing and hard to use. People are not comfortable doing telehealth appointments, for example, which would be a big help if you have to drive a long way to get to your appointments. So you're welcome to look at these later. Hopefully we can get the slides out to you. We got over 5,000 responses in 17 languages to our initial survey in the summer last year. Lots of those were in Spanish. The next most common language was Chinese. We published the survey and its availability in local newspapers, rural newspapers, and also through newsletters and through local governments. But we know we still have a lot of outreach to do. So I hope that when the slide comes up with my contact information, I also have business cards, we still want to hear from you. It's not like the survey is over and we're done. We're going to be amending the plan as time goes on. I'm sure a lot will change in the 5 years that we have to spend our funding. So these are the 8 current populations that the federal legislation requires us to work toward assisting. And you'll notice veterans are on that list, immigrants, people experiencing poverty or who are unhoused, people with language barriers, racial and ethnic minorities, older adults, people who have disabilities, and people who live in rural areas, all of whom live in this region in abundance. So, I think that when we receive our funding later this year, we should be able to make a big impact in Region 7. We had to put our plan out for public comment, just like the folks in the Broadband Office did with their BEAD proposals. We have comments in 10 languages translated. Nobody used those. The way that we got comments from the online, or was not from the online form, we did get 27 in the online form, they were all English. To get the other comments, we actually hosted 19 listening sessions with community-based organizations, and we got 337 people to participate using those. We did have sessions in Pueblo, and as far southwest Trinidad, and as far north as Steamboat. And all the languages that you see on the right side there on the beach are just some examples of surprises, kind of for us. Like, I wasn't expecting to get a lot of comments in Burmese or American Sign Language in Avondale. So, do what I'm doing here. Okay, so our timeline is similar to BEAD, but does not have to be aligned. The NTIA has these 2 different funding streams going, so it's confusing to people that ours might be a little different. We're submitting our plan tomorrow or Friday, and then we will hope to get some funding late fall, early We hope to expand later, but maybe not. You know, it may be that the seat of the coalition is in Pueblo, and there's an Avondale group that contributes to that larger coalition for the region. It's going to be up to the region to decide how to make that happen. So we're going to take our cues from you all. And that's the point of the coalitions, right? Of a steady stream of communication around digital equity opportunities, around what broadband connectivity is like, right? We just want people to be able to have a sounding board in communities. We also are going to do a lot of research and try and figure out who can fund coalitions' priorities besides the state, because this money will run out. So our focus is to get people on the ground to understand how to get the money, how to spend it, and then when this money is spent, those mechanisms will still be in place. So, there's a link in the slides too, but we want to be able to create this much bigger list of organizations that are doing digital inclusion work than we have now. We did an asset map last year, and that's included in our digital access plan, which you can look at online. But we want to expand that. Anybody who teaches computer classes, who supports people in filling out applications, who, I don't know, like helps people access their health information online. All of those people are digital inclusion practitioners, and they should be participating in coalitions. CCOM should be participating in the coalition. Churches, libraries, public schools, all of those, right? We want it to be cross-sector on purpose, because the more voices that are included, the more we understand the needs of the communities. So this is a big one. The other strategy just happens to be number 4. This is to increase digital skills. So some of you know about Salvadore's work with CSU and Avondale Connect. They have digital navigators that are going to be deployed. We also have a pilot at the state level where we have deployed digital navigators who sit one-on-one with people and support them in whatever they need to do online. Often the gateways to convincing people they need to connect is something as simple as like, my son is posting pictures of the grandkids on Facebook and I don't know how to do that. And that's our aim. And then when you build a relationship with them, they trust you, they come back and get more help. So this is a very, very powerful strategy for getting people comfortable with using the internet. Our current digital navigator pilot has 30 navigators in Colorado. Some are AmeriCorps members, and so that's a partnership between the state and our AmeriCorps arm. And then some are employed very temporarily by CBO. We actually have one in Workforce Center in Pueblo here. She just started like 2 weeks ago, Heather. So if you know anybody who needs help, send them to the Workforce Center and Heather can help them. So we're learning from this, and we'll figure out what the next iteration looks like. The funding runs out in June of next year, so we'll figure out how to use our funding to continue providing navigators. And then the other one that we're thinking about this year is we'll probably partner with a contractor to figure out what our plan is, but we want to increase the number of devices that are available to people so that they don't have to try to do everything on their smartphone, so they can have a laptop that they can use for whatever they need to do. The refurbisher in Colorado right now is PCs for People, and they're amazing, but there's one, and they're in Denver. So what would it look like if a community college, for example, started some refurbishing at a community college that teaches A++ or CompTIA, and they learn about the devices, they prepare the devices. What if we get banks who have to donate 1% of their profits due to the Community Reinvestment Act? What does it look like if And then also internet service providers in the region. And then let me know about fiscal sponsors. That's another thing. I want those fiscal sponsors to be people that are trusted in communities. I don't want them to just be random contractors from I don't know where. And think about what you want them to do, because we're going to write that RFA, and we want to ask for people who are going to do what you need them to do. So those are the main things on that side. And then let's see, what else do we want to talk about on here? Yeah, okay, so we'll get our funding probably at the end of this year, and then we'll have 9 months to identify both the fiscal sponsors and the coalitions who are going to participate with fiscal sponsors. So that's not a ton of time, but it is more than a year from now. So we do have time to think about it, but also I don't want you all just being like, oh, we'll wait till the money comes. Like, this is something that's going to take some effort now. I think that is about it for that, but I do want you to know that we have every other month digital equity stakeholder meetings. We do have a newsletter that is starting up, so that will go out once a month. If you are interested in any of that, that is our website up there on the slide. And the upcoming meetings or the Get Involved tabs will get you where you need to go. And then this is my information, my partner in crime, Ashley, from Office of Health Innovation. And then that link on there will take you to a form where you can send your information from your organization, whether you're CBO or wherever you're from. We want to know who to contact when the RFA